This is so straightforward. It just basically means like he doesn't give a shit about people doing sex crimes potentially, unless he can use it as a way to deflect the attention away from himself. Denims is now the fourth woman to come forward to accuse Destiny of illegally recording her without her consent. She says that when she refused to have sex with him, he weaponized the illegal voice recordings as a part of a smear campaign to silence her. That's insane. This is old lore, isn't it? I don't know. I think people greatly overestimate my knowledge of like all of the daily things that and all of the daily drama that has occurred, and maybe even illegal things that have occurred in Epstein's life. The problem here is like I'm not that tuned in. I usually try to stay away from all of this. As a matter of fact, my first interactions with Denims was unironically tainted for this reason, because I thought she was like a Destiny orbiter for the longest time. Straight up. Like I've told her openly this assumption that I had made. And I just like to stay away from people like that because I don't think that they're, you know, I don't know. I don't think that they're making great decisions overall. This is old from what I understand. She just talked about it recently though. The thing is like, I mentioned this before, but all of the people that have come out that are definitely victimized, right? According to the things that they've alleged, like there is a clear wrong there and they are clearly victims, right? Like all of those people were so horrible to a lot of people in my immediate vicinity, people of my people who are, you know, pro-Palestine, things of that nature. That still doesn't change the dynamic that they still doesn't change the harm that they experience, and it doesn't change my attitude towards them at all. Now, did you just say Denim slept with you to get to her audience? You to get her audience? That's gross. I've been in the presence of Denims, I think, a total of like 4 times. That's an insanely misogynistic, nonsensical thing to fucking say. I don't even know if that's actually what DDG are claiming. Like, nobody deserves this experience, okay? Nobody deserves any of this. People overestimate how much streamers know each other. Most of you are just people that you've met a few times, not like best friends that see each other every day. It's a misconception. Yeah. What is this? Let's see.
Like he has so many victims, and he has done this same shtick over and over and over again, where he reaches out, or other women.
Denims has been over to your house on stream. Yes, that was literally, I think that was the first time I've ever been in the physical presence of Denims, and she came because Meowry brought her
out to him, who are 18 or 19 or 20. And he does the same song and dance where he tries to use and abuse them and then discard them when it's no longer relevant or useful for him. And unfortunately, I made the mistake of not having had sex with him. And after that point, he decided to just do a full smear campaign on me, and threatened to leak non-sexual. In this case, I feel like it's important to recognize that, because these people have had to deal with him leaking sexual video footage or audio footage, but then he threatened to leak non-consensual, illegal recordings of me. We had a conversation, and
like, why was this dude just like, why is this dude just like recording people all the time? What's up with these people, man? Like, I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand what like motivates someone to be like, I don't trust anyone, even people who I've invited to my home, even people who are like immediately in my vicinity, so much so that I'm going to constantly record them with the hopes that I can use that as like blackmail against them later down the line. Like, that is a psychotic thing to do. The only other time I've ever heard someone do this is like, other than Jeffrey Epstein, obviously, and I think he was doing it for you know, a multitude of different reasons. The only other time I've ever heard this, and I think maybe Diddy as well, is like in the YouTube sphere, was what's the makeup guy, the problematic makeup person? Was it Jeffree Star? I think. I just don't get it. Maybe I'm too trusting. Or maybe I'm the abnormal one. But I don't understand what motivates people to just be like, ooh, I can, you know, constantly surveil the people around me, and then hopefully later down the line use it as like blackmail.
Recorded it in California, which is a two-party consent state, which you cannot record people without their consent, and then threatened to leak that. And I thought that the audio recording was of a different nature, and I was super scared. I was terrified. And that was me thinking it was something else. Like in California, yes. And since that moment, I basically didn't talk about him at all because, like I said, he is a black hole. He's a cynical piece of shit black hole whose only goal is to sexually abuse women. A lot of women like Pixie.
You also don't fuck random fans or small streamers and invite them to your house. This is also true.
Or like Cherry, or like any of the women that he surrounds himself with. And I am very happy to see that there is finally someone who is a perfect victim, who is brave enough to come out. Does he just record everyone around him? Yes.
Like that. This is something I've heard about a bunch, and it just like definitely weirds me out. It's just like super creepy behavior. And look, a lot of people think like, oh, this is the end of Destiny or whatever. Like, I don't think so. I think that he has in many respects always been this way. Like, he's been this way for quite some time. And his core fan base, I think, don't really care. They treat everything as like drama. But there are definitely people that are in the edges that previously might have been a part of his like core fan base that think like this is unacceptable. But ultimately, I think as long as you stay the course and don't admit to anything and continue doing whatever you're doing, or even if you admit to shit like Dr. Disrespect did, like there's no real quote unquote cancellation. I mean, people will use this against them forever in arguments, especially because like his content revolves around not playing video games by himself, or maybe sometimes collaborating with others, but instead directly like engaging people in the marketplace of ideas. So everyone is always going to be like, hey, remember when you did that thing? And it was fucking insane. So it'll aesthetically and optically look bad for him, and will be a major point that he has to always address. But outside of that, I think that he will, like, his fan base is not going to move away from him. I feel like the approach they have, because it literally is cultish. The approach they have for the most part, like the mega fans, is that this man is too valuable of a voice for brilliant liberalism. And we can't just like cast him aside. After all, the Republicans also operate in a cult like a cult like fashion, and we should do that as well. We shouldn't just like tarnish our heroes so easily. And what's additionally hilarious about that is that like they're still operating within the confines that he has set for them, and their understanding of the world is so deeply polluted by Epstein's way of approaching subjects, that he has like created this persona where they truly do believe he's brilliant. I think he can most likely talk his way out of this situation as well for many of his like hyper supporters. And it's interesting because it's like they'll just turn around. I mean, the way he'll probably approach this is like turn around and point the finger of blame at every one of the naysayers. Even someone like myself, I'll randomly definitely catch a stray in this process where he'll be like, well, he did something too, right? I suspect they'll be like, well, Hasan went to a brothel in like 2010 or whatever, and that brothel was raided. And they'll say it's for sex trafficking, but it was actually raided for tax evasion. And then the brothel successfully sued the German government and won afterwards. But it doesn't matter. D-Man admitted he went to an illegal masseuse as well. That's crazy. So I went to a legal brothel. He went to an illegal one. And he's still complaining. The point isn't necessarily like who's doing wrong, because even if one of the people even if out of all these people that are like, dude, this is fucked up, there was someone that he could like successfully deflect back to, that doesn't make his situation right. Does that make sense? It does provide cover and move people's attention in his core fan base to an appropriate vector of hate, a different target that they're used to, attacking anyway. So they'll just willingly play along. What is this? Destiny, Stephen Bonnell II, is now jokingly comparing himself to Dr. Suspect, while the women who have accused him of either recording them having sex with other consent or illegally sharing RP with a third party face harassment. Me getting ready for my return stream. I do not care if we're friends, enemies, strangers. If we disagree politically, debated harshly, I do not care. If you've dismissed me, wrote me off as mentally ill in the past, or if you've made brutal criticisms of your behavior, I do not care. These are not unforgivable crimes to me. I empathize with anyone who is insecure and concerned to throw stones in glass houses. Do not let this man scare you or threaten you into thinking you are the same as him. Do not let destiny make you think your silence or support of him up to this point or at any point is a scarlet A on your name forever. I know what he has done to me, and I know who did it. I know what was done to me, and I know who did it. Bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking like 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol W. Wait, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This statement is so insane. This statement in and of itself means that like doing sex crimes from his perspective, from Epstein's perspective, is simply not like a boundary breaking moral quandary at all. It's simply just something he doesn't care about until he can just deploy it as like a parachute cord. This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying when Matt Gaetz' investigation in the House Ethics Committee was slated to come out. And I'm certain that, Mr. Liberal himself probably shit on Marjorie Taylor Greene in that regard. I mean, this just straightforward. This is so straightforward. It just basically means like he doesn't give a shit about people doing sex crimes potentially, unless he can use it as a way to deflect the attention away from himself. Like this means you're covering for 20 other streamers. If what he's saying is true, which I don't know if what he's saying is true or not, but if what he's saying is true, then he's offering shelter to 20 sex criminals. That's ridiculous. His delusion of fans are saying they hope you're one of the names, like he has some kind of nuke to destroy you that he didn't want to use. That's insane. What is this? Oh, I did see this.
Forever, right? Like these people want Steve to be fucking canceled forever when he's someone that literally is making the world, I think, like a better place. To my fellow orbiters or coworkers, if you're some fucking one of my coworkers out there and you're making your little bit of a strong statement about how much you condemn destiny and everything else, you better not let me fucking find you doing something else and signing some other bullshit off for someone else. All this is just virtue signaling fucking bullshit, okay? It's like, because it's like, oh my God, sharing nudes? Okay, I'm out of here immediately, right? Like, or Hasan, Hamas-piker, who denies any fucking rapes happened. You have zero fucking credibility to stand on anything, okay?
This is what I mean. It's like, instead of addressing the actual problem, they'll just, like, think about it this way, okay? Think about it this way. First of all, I didn't do that. That's a lie to begin with, even though my criticisms of the New York Times coverage was incredibly valid and 100% is correct. The Israeli prosecutor's office openly admitted recently that there has been no victims or immediate family members that have come forward, and there's simply no way for them to prosecute the potential sex crimes that they said had happened. That's number one. Number two, this is still fucking whataboutism. And number three, the last thing I want to mention here is this, okay? How would this community respond if I had done something like this? Because that would be a valid instance of them coming after me for once. The principle still holds. It's like, when my guy does something heinous, it's not that big of a deal. When someone I hate isn't even doing something wrong, I will work actively to try and make it seem like he has done something wrong and make it seem like it is the largest moral failing that anyone has ever seen. Purchasing a house, for example, leasing a fucking car. Like, it is insane to me that there are so many people in this community still that legitimately will look for anything and everything in my commentary to disparage me, and have done it actively for literally 5 fucking years nonstop. Don't forget he went to fucking Asmongold to help fight against Twitch anti-Semitism. Yeah, he did do that. That's true.
I don't give it. Like, for you, Stephen would have to rape everyone that was at October 7th, right? That festival, for him to be on the level of what you are. That's about.
What? Does DDG Commander Dan Saltman, bootlicker of Epstein, is he claiming that I did the rapes on October 7? Like, how horny are you to try to make a fucking compelling case to defend Epstein that you just like say something completely insane? No, I think that there is no parity here at all. There's no equivalence here at all.
How I feel with you, Hasan. So fuck off. Keep your fucking shit to yourself. Enjoy it while you can for the last fucking few days until your world fucking collapses. Dipshit. Fucking rape denial. Fucking rapist nude sharing. Brothel patroning. Creepy ass old ass motherfucker. But I think it's going to be a bad look for any of these people.
Bro, you're like 50. What are you talking about? Like, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to address. I don't know where to start the process of addressing any number of different things.
Said that their morals, this is too far. They can't interact with a person like this before. If we find out that you're interacting or you have interacted with someone that's done something worse, if that's the case, you're going to look really fucking stupid and like a hypocrite. That's all, right? Like if you're currently...
Yeah, these guys... That's the funniest part about this is like, it's just like, so now apparently Destiny went to an illegal massage parlor in Los Angeles. So I guess like Destiny has actually gone to an illegal massage parlor. I went to a legal brothel, you know, which he knows was rated not for sex trafficking, mind you. He knows it was rated for tax evasion. That's why he tries to like couch it in an effort not to get hit with like some sort of like slander suit. But the funniest part has to be him saying, "You old ass motherfucker," when he's like 55 years old, crashing out in defense of the guy who he's like tried to ride into some semblance of fame at the brittle age of 55. This guy looks like the sick guy in a Theraflu commercial, and he's got fat guy who lost a lot of weight energy.
Hanging out with like a streamer that does like rape denial all day, every day, or that has killed someone on a DUI or something along those lines. Like it's gonna be once we find that out, I think that's like gonna be kind of a rough one to be like why you threw someone under the bus just for clout a little bit. And when I say threw them under the bus, it's like you get a little bit of clout by right now. It's you got a little boost by saying you're never gonna talk with Steve again. And anyways, all that shit. I just want to throw this out there.
Yeah, he's trying to pull the ranks of the orbiters back in by saying like, how dare you align with Hasan? He's done so much worse. Remember all the many years that we've said Hasan is much worse. Did he say you just kill somebody? I don't know if he was talking about me. I don't know who the fuck he's talking about at that point. A DUI, like who killed someone? What?
Because in general, fuck Hasan, right? Fuck everyone that's using this as a jumping off point to like try and make their side win or anything else like that. Like what happened is that like Steve fucked himself up from like 2 years ago, by the way. Like this is like behavior. I will stand by this for the most part. I think that this is behavior he fucking greatly regrets. Don't let me capture you in 4K being a virtue signaling cunt that you know, don't let me capture that event from any.
Yeah, he's just virtue signaling. I think he's making up fanfics of what will you be found out for. Dude, it's just crazy. If you have to like make shit up about me, then maybe I'm not that bad of a person. Like, I don't understand why these people will still entertain this notion that I am like this supreme evil being. I thought that like, you know, they were just shooting shit and they were just like smearing with the hopes that something sticks. And now I feel like they just genuinely believe their own fucking nonsense. Like, I can't tell if this dude is saying this knowing full well that it's false or if he legitimately believes it. Yeah, virtue signaling, a far worse crime than anything Destiny has done. Isn't there a video of this dude teaching his fans / Destiny fans how to finagle the language to make it more deceiving, like the tax evasion versus sex trafficking thing? Yeah.
I will fucking destroy you if that's the case. I believe that Steve has already made a lot of efforts. He regrets everything that happened. And it's not like he needed this incident to happen for him to be a better person or to not do this type of thing anymore. I know that Destiny has it's his fault.
There's a Cosmo article that they're spreading to deflect D from that dance and E. The article's about you scrolling through news on Snapchat, but they're saying it's equivalent to D. They're just sweeping. Wait, scrolling through news on Snapchat. There's a Cosmopolitan article where I'm showing a journalist fans that are sending me unsolicited photos, and some of them are literally dudes getting their backs blown out, and some of them are girls that sent nudes. Do you think that that is the same as like procuring or literally filming people without their consent in times or with their consent at other times and then sharing and distributing that material to other people that you want to what is insane is an unsolicited nude. I didn't fucking expect it. That's psychotic. What happened when dudes send me dick pics and I see it? If a dude sent me a dick pic and I saw it because I fucking looked at my DMs or something, then I'm distributing pornography of other people. Like that's revenge porn. What a fucking insane thing. Yeah, being a victim of sexual harassment is the same as doing it actually. I'm very smart. Yeah, that is insane. But this is, you know what's funny about it? This is exactly what I was talking about. It's like someone being like, well, Your Honor, yes, I shot and killed this child, but that guy over there fought back when he was being assaulted, and that's also a crime too. When you think about it, that's literally the dynamic here, pointing to a totally random person and being like, well, that person punched back when he was fucking attacked. How is that the same? How is it the community that like thrives on the spirit of debate so often make the worst possible arguments